In this video, we're going to be testing Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to be running it at all of the major setting levels. We're going to be doing separate runs for each. I'm not going to be doing them side by side, so you can actually see the full quality of the video. You wouldn't be able to see the quality of the video otherwise. We're going to be testing with and without upscaling, and we are only going to be testing in the downtown area. That's so we're at worst case scenario. That also makes it so I can get away with making this video really short, because normally you could say, well, you know, it might look different in other areas. That's true, and I'm going to be testing it in the areas that it's going to be most strenuous on the system, so you can assume that it's going to probably look better than this when you actually play with similar hardware. So, we're getting started with as low as we can go, and this is actually lower than it normally puts for the low preset. Everything is turned down or off, as low as it'll go, and currently with no upscaling. Okay, so again, we are in the downtown. Well, I don't know if this is downtown. There's like two core big city areas of Night City, but this is in the heavier populated city area. Now, my opinion on this, my opinion on this is that it actually doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty decent. Okay, so let's do, so let's add, try to do this fast. Let's add upscaling in the quality. I typically only test with upscaling in quality preset. I think it looks as good as native, and people dispute that with me. I think it looks as good as native if you're using the lowest amount of it. It starts to affect visual quality once you go very high, though, so I try to only use it in the quality. So we got a little frame rate bump, obviously not necessary under these conditions, but it was still a nice low frame rate bump. So let's next go with, turn this off, and let's do the medium setting. With this, I'll just run the standard medium. So all of the standard stuff, with the exception of I hate motion blur, turn that off. Okay, everything else is the standard settings, and we're going to have this turned off to start with. Okay. So now you're already seeing the drop in frame rate. Small visual quality increase. You're definitely getting a little more realistic visuals. But you definitely saw that drop in frame rate. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put it back up to the FSR quality setting, and you're going to see it running almost the same frame rate as when you were running low without it. There we are. Now we're back at a high frame rate setting, and as you can see, I mean, I can't see any visual degradation. I'm not going to say none just because I don't want somebody to tell me, oh, I can see it. I don't see it. So this is running medium with a small amount of AMD FSR upscaling. So, next, we're going to go up to the quality, or the high setting. We're going to turn off that, and we are just at the standard high preset. Everything is standard except we have the FSR turned off, which actually is turned on by default. So once again, a small degradation in frame rate. I believe this is playable. I know some people consider sub 60 unplayable. I consider this playable down to like 35, 40 FPS if you're holding it solid. But this is with no FSR running at the high settings. So it's not bad. Oops, dang it. I'm going to get back to the downtown area. And it does tend to really pull your performance down more when you're on a bike versus other stuff, because you're seeing everything being drawn. Everything has to be drawn around you. And this is pretty good. So let's turn on the FSR. FSR, once again, we're going to do quality only. Now that gives us a nice bump in frame rate. Actually, a little more than, what, 20 FPS? That's actually more than I would have expected. Oops, there goes my phone again. Dang it. Pedestrians in this game are so stupid, they literally jump in front of you. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what we're looking at for high and high with FSR. Let's go next to Ultra. And we'll start with FSR off. Oops, no, I went off. Okay. Okay, so now we're really seeing degradation. Frame rate is... I don't know, normally I think it's playable down to the 30s, but on this particular case, it's definitely sluggish, and I would say borderline unplayable. It's almost playable, but it's just a little bit too sluggish for my liking. It's not quite not smooth, it's just a little sluggish. Now, if we turn on the FSR, it's going to get us back up to playable frame rate. So we turn this on, we go to quality, and now we're back at that largely north of 50 FPS. I'm guessing you won't see below. Dang it. I'm guessing you won't see below like 45 under these circumstances. And this is absolutely playable. Now, I don't see any loss in quality, and I would I would highly recommend playing at this setting if you're on a setup like this, where you can turn it up to ultra with the FSR running in the quality mode. So just as a bonus, we'll take a look at ray tracing low. This is going to be unplayable, but I mean, whatever. Let's try it just for kicks. Oh. Yeah, it's yeah. Okay. 44 FPS? I mean, I was expecting like 10 FPS or something. So, not bad. What was that? That was weird. I got nothing to complain about here. I wouldn't have expected it to be able to do this. So, I mean, being an AMD card from a couple years ago, this isn't bad. I would almost recommend going this route. This is not bad at all. If you're somebody who can't do sub 60 FPS, this isn't for you, but for those who just want smooth gameplay, this could be your way to go. So I hope you guys find this kind of an interesting, quick run-through. Like I said, I know it was fast, but it should give you an idea because we're doing high demand areas rather than low, so you should run at least as well as this. So I hope you guys found this interesting, and thanks for watching the video.